Welcome to Road to Hope. I'm your host, Bianca Jade, and right now I'm in beautiful Fort McMurray with Craig Momney, one of our reporters. Craig, when you think of Fort McMurray and everything your community's been through, you don't truly think it would be this gorgeous.
I know, I never thought that myself when I first thought about moving up here, but absolutely, it is gorgeous up here. Everywhere else, the whole downtown core, even if you go up to the site, you do see a lot of beautiful land up there.
You know, your community has been through so much. It's a lot of devastation, a lot of loss, but now a time to rebuild. We're going to go off now with a story that you've been able to capture the spirit of your community, one of them being a local condo manager. Explain to me a little bit about her as we go off to that story.
It's actually one of my condo managers. She actually took the time to make sure everybody knew exactly what was going on at this condo. Social media was a big factor in this story, and actually a big factor for everybody at this condo, because everybody was worried about what was going to happen with our condo. And she made it happen. She made it sure that everybody knew this place was all right.
From Maureen, it just says, here, big thanks to Amanda. Your hard work is appreciated. Can't wait to go home. From Lorraine, it just says, thank you so much for all your hard work and all the updates. It is truly appreciated. From Aaron, it says, Amanda, can't thank you enough. I've heard of some condo owners who haven't gotten one bit of news, and your hard work has been so comforting during all of this, all while going through it as well.
Kind words for an unsung hero. Amanda Lovelace has many duties at the Peaks in Eagle Ridge, all in relation to keeping the complex safe and maintained. During the month of May, the condo manager took on an even bigger role when the messages started pouring in.
They started contacting me through Facebook, and that's when a lady in Building D, Latha, had the idea, let's start a group. So the people that aren't on, and it was such a huge relief because I was having a tough time keeping up. I mean, there's 1,200 people, 400 suites here, so it's a big property. So the Facebook group actually helped to keep the people that aren't on the database informed and shorten my workload at the same time. So it was a win-win.
The unknown can be a scary thing, especially when your home is at the mercy of a wildfire. Lovelace showed there was a light at the end of the tunnel with each and every update, giving residents of the Peaks peace of mind.
Just knowing that somebody was there and watching and, you know, making sure that our properties and our homes were safe, and knowing and seeing the photos. You know, it was nice to get a picture halfway through the evac and be like, hey, my truck's still there, that's great.
I didn't expect to hear anything from anybody, quite frankly, and when I started getting the emails from Amanda, I was just checking. My first email was like the second night after, like on the 4th, after everything was happening, and she was thinking about us, giving us an update, you know, making sure that we were all okay. It was an immense relief to be hearing from her, you know, just to have that connection with somebody that cared so much about our properties here.
It's like a family here, it's a little community. And I care about the place like home. I mean, it's home to me. I've been here 6 years, and I feel like I'm responsible for keeping people informed.
And now that the occupants of the Peaks have begun to return home, there's only one thing residents have left to say.
I'm so grateful to you for everything that you've done for us and that you continue to do for us. And I can't wait to see you, to give you a big hug.
Thank you, and words don't even begin to describe the feeling that you provided to us, knowing that somebody was here keeping our home safe and keeping us up to date. And I don't know how, but we will thank you, and we are going to come together as a condo community and have a big block party, and we're going to get to know everybody very, very intimately pretty soon. There's
so many people on here that are obviously so thankful for the information that was passed through, which is very comforting. It makes me feel like I've succeeded at what I've been put here to do.
Since this evacuation, so many people have stepped up to help, not only with the evacuation, but with the rebuild of our beautiful community. Well, in this next story, we meet a 14-year-old girl who wanted to help during the evacuation, but she was told no. Now, we're going to learn in this next story that you never tell a teenager no, because they're going to do it anyway. 14-year-old Caitlin Lapine wanted to prove that age is just a number. As an avid animal lover and equestrian, Lapine wanted to take part in the pet rescue efforts, but was told she was too young. The teenager wouldn't take no for an answer, so she thought of another way she could help that was close to her heart.
I thought maybe I could plant trees for all the areas that lost the trees, especially because I ride horses a lot. And down on Tower Road, we lost all the trees in the trails. And that's really what started the idea for the trees, is after I saw that the trails were completely destroyed, and I went on them every day and they were beautiful and green, I wanted to get it replanted and get Fort McMurray green again.
Her initial idea was to assemble a group of teenagers under the age of 18 to assist in planting 200 saplings in areas where large amounts of trees were lost during the wildfire. But an email to a company in Prince Edward Island sparked something bigger than her and her mother initially expected.
She started a GoFundMe page, and then she reached out to Vessie's in PEI, and Vessie sent her an email saying, we have some trees that we could send you, give us an address. She gave them the address of the ranch that we were staying at, and they sent an email saying, we've shipped $13,000 worth of trees to you.
When I read the email, I was shocked. I didn't think they were actually going to be able to send many trees because they were just going to talk to their manager and see if they were able to, but they sent all their out-of-season stock.
The number of trees was too much for her and her friends to plant, so the Lapine family decided to give the trees away to McMurrayites to plant themselves, something Ray Fraser, one of the recipients of the trees, thought was a great initiative for someone so young.
I think it was a good thing put out by the kids that wanted to participate in helping out but weren't old enough, and kind of a good idea by them. Kind of a memorial trees if we get them to grow.
The forest will grow by itself, but when you're planting trees, you're basically symbolizing the rebuild.
When Lapine returns to the Wood Buffalo region, she plans on continuing that momentum by replanting white birch trees along the trails on Tower Road.
Parts of the community are vibrant and beautiful, like this one, but not everywhere was as lucky. Some homes have been lost, and some people have lost absolutely everything. A local couple decided that they were going to search for something that would mean the most to them, and when they found it, it changed their life.
Father's Day is the time you spend with your dad, but this was no ordinary Father's Day, at least not for Travis Wood and his father, as they did something they've never done before, sifting through the remains of what was once the Woods' home.
I went in with my dad and our friends, and we made the boxes for sniffing through it, and yeah, we came up with the wedding ring and a couple other rings.
Travis and his wife Kayla lost their home in Timberlea to the wildfire that consumed 25% of Fort McMurray. Everything they owned lost in the blaze. Not knowing what may have survived the fire, the family just wanted to see if anything was salvageable, but thought the window to sift was quickly closing.
It was a long process. We were already stressed about everything else going on, and I got a hold of the city, and they put me towards the number for Rubicon, basically. And I left them a voicemail. My parents left them a voicemail. I'm sure they were very busy at the time, and they never got back to me.
Felt almost panicked with time. We thought, oh no, the city's gonna not let us in. We're gonna not be able to go through it at all.
And finally, we kind of just got fed up, and I picked a weekend to come up to Fort McMurray and basically look through the rubble myself.
Travis's persistence paid off. On the first day, he found his wife's wedding ring, but it was the hour of searching on Father's Day that the husband would literally strike gold.
When he went back, very quickly he found my engagement ring, my uncle's ring, and everything else.
While she was happy to see the rings the couple exchanged on their wedding day, it was the ring that belonged to her uncle that seemed to mean the most, a ring she never took off.
He passed away there years ago before we knew each other, and they were just very close, and that ring meant a lot to her.
He is not much older than me, and so we grew up more like siblings. And when he passed away, our daughter's named after him, so it was pretty important. That's all I have left of him.
What is this one made out of again? Tungsten?
Tungsten.
Unfortunately, the Woods insurance only covers partial payment on a new home. Everything they've purchased in the past is now gone. But the symbols which represent their unconditional love for one another still remains, as well as the last possessions of her late uncle, turning the perspective of this devastating fire into an optimistic outlook.
I think we've heard that insurance wasn't going to come through, and then it was only a week later he found the rings. So it completely just changed how we view the situation, because now we have a little bit of positivity.
As families return to the areas devastated by this wildfire, many of those are uncertain about the future. But to be honest, a lot of them are planning to rebuild.
You doing good?
I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Returning home to see the devastation firsthand is hard. For some, it's about getting closure. For others, it's about preparing for a different future. For Shaw employee James Starrett and wife Shannon, returning to Beacon Hill was emotionally draining.
You see videos on Facebook and different postings, and you really don't believe what you're seeing until you're standing in front of it. A lot different than it used to be.
Coming back to a community you love after over a month away is hard in the easiest of circumstances. This is not one of those circumstances, and everyone will be reliving their journey back on May 3rd on how they heard about the wildfire, how they escaped it, and how they survived.
This happened so quick. We work a kilometer down the road on the same street here at the Shaw Cable building, evacuate the office. I get to my kids at the school right beside the Shaw office, and there's already fire across the road. Impatiently waiting to try and pick up my kids and get them out of school, and there's fire across the road. You know, we run down here, let the kids out. They run in to grab what they can, and about 12 minutes later we're leaving. There's fire. My son's yelling, "There's fire right on the road here." And we leave. It's been a hell of a month. It's 34 days ago, do you believe that? We're finally just getting to step back here and actually take a look. So surreal.
Residents in restricted areas will get time to sift through their personal belongings with the support of Team Rubicon. Every little item has become more precious than the last time it was viewed, and every little item brings up a memory that may have been forgotten.
Yeah, you're seeing little things in there. You knew where they sat before and where they're sitting now. It's crazy. Yeah.
Like, we were trying to think about the things that we miss the most, and for me, it's our Christmas tree. It's a palm tree, right? And all the ornaments are from places that we've been. Yeah. That sucks. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can see our kids' bikes at the front door there, all melted down. Oh my God.
At the end of the day, these aren't just things, they're memories. They're a reminder of the life we've led. For James and Shannon, these things have become a reminder of the region they've grown to love.
We absolutely love this community. We'll rebuild. And it's beautiful here. We've really enjoyed everything Fort McMurray's offered us so far, and it's a small step back for what will be a really amazing journey as we move forward. And you know, our kids are doing really well on the island right now, and hope to bring them back over the next few weeks, and they can be a part of our journey with us here in 2016 to see what the future looks like with us.
Rebuilding will not be an easy task. It will take time and patience. Something James and Shannon, like so many others in Fort McMurray, are willing to sacrifice in order to pursue this task.
There has been a lot of devastation and there has been a lot of loss. Unfortunately, during this entire process, 2 lives were lost during the evacuation. That's why many people in Fort McMurray are continuing to wear an orange ribbon. We leave you now with the faces of those people. They'll be fondly remembered.